Hello, everyone. Welcome to RGVision Media Podcast. I'm Joey Partita. And first off, thanks for tuning in. I'm excited to be stepping in as your new host. And I can't think of a better way to kick things off than with today's guest. Joining us is Will Wynn, Executive Director of the Texas A&M Higher Education Center at McAllen, right here in the heart of Tres Lagos District. Welcome, Will Wynn.
Thank you. Pleased to have you guys here, and this is fun for me.
Awesome. So I'm going to get right into it. I have a series of questions, and I'm going to start with welcome you again to Rio Grande Valley.
Right.
As someone stepping into this new leadership role, what attracted you to the Texas A&M University Higher Education Center at McAllen, and what excites you most about serving this community?
Well, number one, I'm an Aggie. And so, I'm a very proud Aggie. I've always, in different parts of my career, have had a chance to sort of give back to A&M.
Okay.
I think of this as that. I was already living in McAllen. My wife and I had really just last year moved here full time. We have a new grandson who was born here in McAllen.
Congratulations.
And we now moved my mother-in-law to be close to us.
Okay.
McAllen is now home. So we were here when this opening occurred here at A&M's McAllen campus, and I jumped at the chance. The timing couldn't be better for me, and I'm really appreciative of having this opportunity. We love living in the Valley. We're still exploring and learning more about it. We've had a little home here for 4 years, but now we're full time. And just love what I see about the culture, the growth, the economic and academic opportunities.
That's great.
It's fun to be part of a new community.
Awesome. We're excited as well. I'm excited to be here. So thank you for taking the time. I'm going to move right into the next question. Many people know Texas A&M and College Station,
Right.
but not everyone understands what the Higher Education Center at McAllen offers. How would you describe its mission, and why is it such an important resource for students and employers across South Texas?
What I really like about A&M setup here in McAllen is that we are an absolute, tangent, a satellite, a pipeline to
Right.
College Station, as opposed to maybe a regional Texas A&M that we're proud of. We love those guys, but this is a direct pipeline to College Station. So the students here have to meet the exact same admission requirements
Right.
that College Station have. The diploma that they earn here is the Texas A&M diploma.
That's right.
They earn their Aggie ring and wear it proudly.
Yes, sir.
I mean, so they're through and through, they're Aggies. And what it really does, in my opinion, that I'm really proud that A&M is doing it, is that it brings the Texas A&M academic, prowess, much closer to home for so many of these kids,
Yes.
right? So it's the Texas A&M education and all that comes with that, the network and the pipeline, but it brings it much closer to home for so many kids in the Valley.
Opportunity. Great. Moving into the third question. Higher education is changing rapidly as industries evolve. How is Texas A&M McAllen ensuring students graduate with the knowledge and skills that employers are actively looking for in today and in the future?
It's a good question, and it is changing. It's changed so much since I was at A&M in a completely different era, right?
Mhm.
Pre computers,
That's right.
pre internet, right? What I'm pleased to see with McAllen is that campus is that is small and growing, right? So we only offer 10 majors.
Mhm.
But all 10 of those specifically and purposefully are aligned with what the Rio Grande Valley's, industry and community partners tell us, right? So our nursing program, our public health program, our biomedical science program ties right into the healthcare needs here.
That's right.
I mean, historically, the Rio Grande Valley's been a medically underserved part of the state, right?
Mhm.
People recognize that. Austin recognizes that, and so there's resources are happening.
That's right.
But so we aligned our degree plan, for that. The same thing can be said with our engineering and construction sciences. I mean, it's hard to look around anywhere in the valley and not see, major construction,
Right.
commercial, complicated, state of the art kind of construction. And we're delivering on that here as well. So the limited number of majors here are, by design
That's right.
currently, because I think they align really well with the needs of the industry and community partners here in the Valley.
Okay. One of the center's goals is supporting workforce development throughout the Rio Grande Valley. What partnerships with local businesses and industries do you believe will have the greatest impact on our region's economic growth?
Right. So again, sort of tying into that last question. So just like our degree plans align with what we're told from the community or some obvious needs, we then reach out to those partners and they reach out to us. We have great partnerships with South Texas Medical.
Mm-hmm.
And so they actually help fund some kids to come study in nursing and public health and biomedical
That's right.
science. And they in turn also offer internships for our undergraduates here. So there's
Okay.
a nice sort of symbiotic relationship on the healthcare side. I was just yesterday or the day before with the city leaders of the city of Farr. And the city of Farr, as an example, I think they might have more of our interns than any other community partners. So
That's great.
so our kids are getting experience at City Hall
Mm-hmm.
in Farr, and likely those are the kids. Of course, cities have this broad range of services from, policing all the
Mhm.
way to and through, preschool education and parks and libraries. And so there's this good symbiotic relationship on the engineering side with MEP engineers, healthcare side with South Texas Health, and then just also, other community, needs and partners like the city of Farr.
That's so good. Okay. The Rio Grande Valley has an incredible pool of talented students, many of whom want to build their careers close to home.
Right.
What opportunities do you see for keeping that talent here while continuing to attract new employers and investment?
I think that's maybe the the gist of A&M's decision to locate in McAllen
That's right.
in the Rio Grande Valley.
Mhm.
And the fact that we're aligning our degree plans with what, is sort of the obvious feedback from the business and industry in the Rio Grande Valley is that we're bringing the A&M education closer to home, so
Right.
therefore making it far more affordable. Essentially, kids could live at home or very near home and still get this degree. Our stats show that disproportionately the kids who are graduating from here are staying in the valley. But that makes sense, right? Because we align the degree programs with places they could probably get gainful employment right away
Sure.
in the valley.
Okay.
So again, it's sort of symbiotic, but it's allowing uh, the kids who want to stay in the valley. They obviously can go wherever they want to, but if they want to stay in the valley, we've probably educated them. Hopefully, we've educated them in the right silo, the right path to launch a successful career here in the valley.
Okay. So student success goes far beyond the classroom. What role do membership, student engagement, and campus experiences play in preparing graduates to become leaders in their professions and communities?
It's another great question. So, most colleges will have, student organizations on campus that allow, kids to sort of develop some interpersonal skills, some leadership skills, and all of that. We have that in a big way here on campus, but we also I think we do a good job staff-wise of placing these kids in internships,
Okay.
during their undergraduate years. So that whole, we refer to it as the Aggie network. Some people call it a cult. Some people call it the mafia or what.
Yeah.
But these kids, while they're on campus, they're involved in, and sort of campus ambassadorship programs. They're involved in just student-led organizations. Um, and then they get to reach out, into the community, usually at their internship positions. And A&M prides itself. Some of our core values are leadership and self-service. We have a 150-year history of that, and these kids tap into it. What I really appreciate is the kids that are making the effort to come here. I mean, they want to be Aggies, right? By definition, they got accepted into Texas A&M, which is not an easy thing to do, and they're persevering, and so they believe in our core values, and we let that, hopefully, mature in a good way here on campus, and they take it back into the community with them.
Great. So technology, artificial intelligence, healthcare, engineering, and advanced manufacturing are transforming today's workforce.
Right.
Which emerging fields do you believe will create the greatest opportunities for students graduating over the next decade?
It's hard to say, but we're in partnership with so many of the economic development corporations in the valley, the different chambers of commerces, the RGV partnership. And so the feedback that we get, sort of, real-time feedback as to, what companies they're talking to, trying to relocate to the valley or open up a facility here. Vallejo, a French-owned company that right now has a facility in Rio Bravo, they're partnering with us. They're opening up a facility in McAllen, and so we've already started sort of internship and crafting our sort of internal degree plans based on that opportunity. So what I like about a small campus like this is, my sense is, we're quite flexible in how we can help direct these kids into this, hopefully the next perceived, piece to this, changing economic puzzle. Artificial intelligence is an obvious example. We have an interdisciplinary engineering degree here that, you're not necessarily a civil engineer, you're not necessarily an electrical engineer, right? But it's interdisciplinary, and I think degrees like that will prove to be very useful sooner rather than later.
It will. It will. That's awesome that you're giving that opportunity. Man, I'm so excited to be here interviewing you, and even though I'm asking these questions off of here, I'm also calculating everything myself. So,
Right, of course.
So thank you.
I know. We appreciate the chance to let more people in the community know what we're doing.
Yes. So I'm so glad that I had the opportunity to do this.
Yeah.
So I'll move right into the next question. As executive director, what are some of your priorities for expanding the higher education center's presence and strengthening its connection with schools, businesses, and community organizations throughout the valley?
Right. Well, as executive director, my job includes just the daily operations here on campus, almost like a, facilities, manager. So I take that real seriously. It's like I call it the blocking and tackling of the game, right? It's the important stuff that you have to do every play, every day, right? But then also I get to help lead the expansion and growth of our campus. And we talked about it briefly. I'm coming at a time that's exciting for me as an old architect and real estate commercial development professional. We have 2 small buildings that we're finishing construction with right now. We're about to break ground on 3 significant new buildings that will, more than double the square footage of the existing campus. So I have the existing, facilities that we need to operate as efficiently as possible. We have all this growth that will be happening here over these next 2 and 3 years. These are 2-year construction projects.
Yes.
But then a third key component of my job is outward facing, is those community partnerships, is working with the different chambers and the EDCs, of the region, to make sure that we, they know what we're doing. We know it can help anticipate what their, next big thing is.
Yes.
And so I'm really excited. I'm lucky to have this job, and I'm really looking forward to it.
For parents and students listening today who may think a Texas A&M education is out of reach, what would you want them to know about the opportunities available right here in McAllen?
Well, yes. I mean, my kids are, 30, 29, and 27.
Okay.
So I've just sort of gone through those college years with them. College is so much more expensive than it was in my day.
Right.
But it's part of the rationale for A&M to open up a campus here to make it, you know, in part more affordable just because you're so much closer to home, likely for some of these kids. But really, even more important than that, Texas A&M has the assurance program, where if you're coming from a relatively low income household, and I think the income and asset level is 125,000, if I'm not mistaken, that essentially you can come here with very little, if any, true expense. The scholarships that are offered, the grants that are available, but especially the Aggie Assurance
Mm-hmm.
program. Really, any kid in the Valley who is driven and wants to go to college, wants to be an Aggie, uh, we have a good history of giving them that chance.
Excellent. So looking ahead 5 to 10 years, what does success look like for the Texas A&M University Higher Education Center at McAllen? And what legacy would you like to help build for future generations of Aggies in the Rio Grande Valley?
Right. Well, my first perspective as an architect and sort of commercial builder is, thinking about what this campus, can be. We were blessed with a 100-acre gift from the city of McAllen, which we very much appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
We take that partnership very seriously. Uh, the Board of Regents has recently approved a master plan for these 100 acres.
Okay.
It has us growing with different buildings and building types. The plan is to have upwards of 5,000 students here over time. The sweet spot might be a little bit less than that, but something of that magnitude.
Okay.
And so I do have a thought about sort of the legacy or the vision of this campus in 25 years, but really more important than the sticks and bricks and mortar and pavement and recreation
Yeah.
facilities. It's really the pipeline of the students,
Yes.
right? The kids that we attract, from the local high schools, and then the graduates that we send back into the community and into the local economy. And so I hope that the legacy ultimately is this really successful, almost seamless, symbiotic relationship of parents, maybe even young Aggie parents sending
That's right.
their kids here to the McAllen campus, and then watching those kids thrive over 4 years or so, and then going right back into the larger, growing, more successful Rio Grande community.
That's right. Awesome. Well, those are all the questions that we had. Again, it's been an honor and a privilege to sit here and get to interview you.
Thank you.
And thank you for enlightening us and our audience on what you bring to the campus, what the campus brings to the Rio Grande Valley and to the heart of Tres Lagos District, which there's a lot of buzz going around of what Tres Lagos brings, and now
Right.
having Texas A&M University of higher education at McAllen here is a big deal for us. And for me personally, to be at the forefront, seeing the expansion, seeing the growth, it really is an honor and a privilege to be a part of it, to see it at the beginning stages, and for having you here to lead the program, to lead the school into what it's becoming. So thank you for your time and for being here with us and enlightening us.
Thank you. And we'd love the opportunity just to let the public know what's happening here. We do have the public's welcome anytime, but we do host some open houses sporadically throughout the year. We'll have a big, pachanga and tailgate parties for Aggie football games. So we invite the public, especially, parents of junior high and high school age kids,
Yes,
to
yeah.
come see what we're doing and get to know the opportunities that Texas A&M now offers in McAllen and in the Rio Grande Valley.
Cool. So you heard it. That's been our interview with Will Wynn here at Texas A&M University Higher Education Center at McAllen.